All right, what's going on, guys? It's Boxingwave. I'm going to give you a quick recap of the Shockey Foster Robson Conceicao rematch. So Shockey Foster wins a split decision, all right, and wins his title back, the WBC Super Featherweight champion. He is now champion again in another very, very, very close fight. I seen the fight. I watched it live. I did. I was looking at the tweets as I was watching it, and I thought, well, let me say this. I thought both fighters did better. It was a much better fight. Both of them engaged more. I think Robson was better. All right. I think he was a little bit sloppy. He was the aggressor in the first fight, but he was sloppy in the first fight. Right. Didn't land much um, in that first fight, and his defense was kind of poor. I think he was sharper this fight. I think his defense was better. I think he was just better overall. I said to you guys in the last video or the breakdown, I didn't like him in the first fight because he just didn't look good. He looked like he had fallen off since the Navarrete fight. Excuse me. And I was like, just thinking like maybe this guy is not the same fighter. Like that Navarrete fight, certain fights like that at your age, mid 30s, they do a lot to you. You know what I mean? You come back, you fight another champion, a top fighter at 130, not gonna look so good. So I'm assuming maybe he didn't look that good because of what that last fight did. But this fight made me a believer that he's still one of the best fighters at 130 right now, even with this loss. And Oshaki definitely a lot more aggressive. I said that he needs to counter, make him miss, make him pay for it. Needs to lead a little bit more, come forward a little bit more. Just his work rate needs to be higher, and we got that. But I still thought that Robson edged it. I don't say still because I thought the first fight could have gone either way. I wasn't mad at the decision at all. A lot of people screamed robbery. I thought the fight was a pick 'em fight based on what you like. I personally didn't think either fighter did enough to make to clearly win the fight. This was the first fight. The second one, I think Robson Conceição still edged it, 7 rounds to 5 for me. Again, I'm not mad at the decision. I just thought Robson was just more consistent here. I think Oshaki started out pretty fast, but started slowing down into closer to the championship rounds when Robson started to slow down himself. Conceição is known to slow down. He slowed down in the Oscar Valdez fight, the Navarrete fight. He's been in a lot of high level fights and he slowed down, especially against Valdez, which a lot of people also thought was a robbery. I thought Oscar Valdez edged it. Again, it was another very close fight that I thought Robson was clearly winning, clearly being the better boxer and outworking Oscar Valdez, but he slowed down towards the end. And I think in the championship rounds in this fight, I thought Oshaki pulled off and won the last 3 rounds. I think I gave the last 3 rounds to him. Robson started to really look like he was slowing down in the ninth round for me, and I still gave him that round. But Oshaki it was a gap of rounds where he was just getting outworked, and being that he was being more aggressive, he was getting hit a lot more. So even though I liked his defense in the first fight, he wasn't really countering with anything in the first fight. Whereas this fight here, being that he was coming forward a lot more, he was engaging a lot more, he got hit a lot more, and I still thought that his work rate is still kind of low. So I edged it for Robson, but when I heard the decision, I was not shocked. I thought they would give it to Oshaki if the fight was close. Most people thought he was robbed in the first fight. The sanctioning body forced an immediate rematch. So I figured that if this fight was going to be close again, they would give it to Oshaki. But I don't want to make it all about that because it was still a very close fight. And I think there was still a couple of close rounds in there, a couple swing rounds. So if you had Oshaki winning, I'm not going to argue. It's just the same thing. Me personally, I don't want to see a third fight. You got 2 fights where it's very close, hard to call. Um, but if they have a third fight, whatever. But am I looking for a third fight? No, because neither fight was really great. I mean, I thought this recent one, this rematch, wasn't bad. But with Oshaki, I think the clear issue is his work rate is just too low. And even like fights against Rocky Hernandez, which he got that incredible knockout at the end of the fight. He was just getting outworked even in that fight. Nova was actually outboxing him in some of the early rounds. So I say all that to say this. This division is still wide open to me. Like there's no clear top guy at 130. Anybody could be the top guy at 130. Even a loser, Robson Conceicao, is probably one of the still top 6 guy in the division right now. At the very least. Um, you got Navarrete against Valdez rematch coming up. Okay, I believe that's gonna be for a title. I believe. Um, you got Anthony Kakachi, who's one of the champions here. You got Lamont Roach, who's supposed to be moving up to fight Tank, but I think win or lose, he's still gonna hold on to that title. So there's other fighters around, and I think if Robson can pull off a decent win, I think a decent win in his very next fight, he can be right back in position to fight for a title again, you know, um, or a fight or two, But if he wants to retire, that's on him. But I think he's still good enough to beat or at least compete with any of the champions, the current champions at 130, And as far as Oshaki, I would like to see Oshaki unify, whether it's against Anthony Kakachi, you know, Lamont Roach down the line, or the winner of Valdez and Navarrete seems like it makes the most sense. That's all good with me. I'm good with any of those fights. Um, yeah, I'm cool with any of those fights, man. Um, Raymond Ford is in the division now as well. Okay, I would love to see a fight between Raymond Ford and Oshaki Foster. Foster deals struggles against high value, as many counterpunching slick boxers do. All right, pressure is gonna be always be the issue. Work rate is kind of low. I think if he can step up his work rate a little bit more, I think he'll definitely be very, very hard for anyone to beat. But for now, he's very good. He's a very good counterpuncher, man. Um, but overall, good fight. Well, better fight, and I think Sal edged it, in my opinion. In my opinion, and I thought the robbery was an overreaction. The claims of robbery was an overreaction overall. Two very, very close fights. Um, but better second fight from both. Both did better in the rematch. All right, so that's my opinion on that. Please subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, share the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good night. Peace.